Hi everyone, today I'm going to be talking about the camping gun basics and camping gun tech and camping gun glitches and stuff like that. It should be an interesting video. There's quite a bit of tech. There's mainly some like glitches and stuff. There's one particularly useful piece of tech that's very nice to know. But a lot of the things are very similar to the net gun. So a lot of times I'll be referencing just check out the net gun video because there's a lot of mechanics that are the same between the camping gun and the net gun. But there are definitely some key differences, and there is, I would say, less tech than the net gun, but there's still some interesting stuff in here. So yeah, I hope you enjoy the video. To start off, the camping gun has 3 charges, as seen in these 3 little green rectangles. And so to shoot the camping bag, first you need to charge the gun. So you need to press shoot, which you see will load the spring, and then pressing fire will release the projectile. And so assuming the projectile doesn't hit anything, it will vanish after like a second. And if it doesn't have any more velocity, then it will vanish. So like for example, if it gets put on a spring like this, it will stay forever because it has velocity. And same thing for this. And this is consistent to the net gun. The only difference is that the camping gun's actual physics the camping gun projectiles physics are a little different in terms of the fact it will bounce. And so what you can do is you can, instead of the net gun, which slides down walls, you can sort of bounce it over like a wall and have it come down next to someone. So it can sort of be ricocheted like that. So for instance here, you can see how the camping gun would ricochet here and bounce into the hole. And it won't slide down like the net gun. So when you get caught by the camping bag, you can see here you'll get stuck into this ragdolled state, and this is exactly the same state as if you're just pressed ragdoll. The only difference is that you're in a camping bag and you can't get up. So now I want to talk about the camping bag timer. So when you're in a camping bag, to escape, you have to either press left, right, up, jump, or ragdoll, and all of those buttons will make your duck wiggle and help escape the camping bag. And so how this works is the bag has 60 HP, and every single time you wiggle your duck, you reduce the HP of the camping bag by 5. And the bag also has this hidden timer. The timer says that every 60 frames, or in this case 1 second, the game will check the camping bag. And if its HP is above 20, then it will reduce its HP by 4. So this means that if you do nothing and wait, you'll be in the bag for infinitely long. And this is unlike the net gun, where there's a specific timer and it doesn't matter. Your inputs will help reduce the timer in the same way, but there's no limit. Like, you'll always escape no matter what, even if you don't make any movements. But in this case, you need to at least make 4 movements towards the end, because then it will be at 20 HP. So if I just move 4 times, then it will let me escape. And sometimes you can use this a little bit strategically. Like, you can wiggle a lot of the way, and then towards the end, you can just wait a second, because let's say someone's shooting projectiles over you. Like, if they're shooting projectiles over you because they think you're about to escape, you can sort of stall your escape a little bit. But the main thing is you want to know that you only need to press the wiggle 1 or 2 more times before you escape, because you don't want to actually be stuck there if they change their aim and actually aim towards you. And so the main point of this is the longer you wait inside the bag, the more HP it will lose, and also wiggling will help it lose HP. So that's why if you notice that if I stay in the bag for a while and then wiggle a lot, it takes me much less moves than if I were to immediately start wiggling. It takes you about 11 if you start tapping buttons instantly, and if you wait, it will take you less and less, down to 4 or even 3 if you wiggle a little bit. So yeah. And then once the camping bag hits 0, then of course it will break you free. Because the duck is in the ragdolled state, you're able to move them and throw them like the ragdoll. So if you're not good at throwing ragdolls, it's easier to just net someone. But if you are good at throwing ragdolls, an easy way is just to jump and then turn around and throw, just like that. And you can throw them really fast. Or you can let them curve over your head. Just something like that. And you can throw them quite far. That was with the help of the spring. So it sort of doesn't count a lot, but I have a good guide to how to throw ragdolls in my ragdolling part 1 video, I'm pretty sure it is. Of course you can just throw them like that, and whatnot, but I've noticed for like a lot of newer players, it's harder for them to actually consistently throw a duck off like easily, because like you can sort of throw them over stuff that maybe a net you wouldn't be able to throw a net gun over. So it's just something to think about and practice maybe. Because it's the ragdolled state and because it relies on you wiggling, you're not really impaired by spawners as much. Like, of course you're sucked in, but the timer isn't lengthened because you can't jump, because you can still wiggle, so you're still able to get out in around the same amount of speed. Just like if a duck was in a net and they escape, they'll like get released like a little bit up off the ground. It's also just like if you double ragdoll, you see how I'm lifted off the ground by 1 block? That's sort of what happens when you escape from a net gun. You see I'm lifted off the ground by 1 block? So you will die if you're under this like layer of spikes. However, it doesn't spawn in like a map like the net gun. And also like you can kind of just like shove them up into it, and like you can just jump and throw or something, or up throw. Like that or something. But like it is still a thing to consider. And so just like the net gun, if a net gun projectile, if a camping gun bullet were to catch, like a camping gun projectile can catch on fire just like that. And so also if a camping gun projectile were to go through fire, it will catch on fire and light the duck aflame. And if you also happen to light a camping gun aflame, just like this, after a few seconds, maybe like 10 seconds or so, or less, it will melt and turn into this. And no matter how much ammo it has, it will lose all its ammo, and it will be unable to be fired, and it will instantly disappear when it hits the ground. So like if you do it on a camping gun like this, it will just disappear because it has no ammo left. And so like, for example, this one won't disappear because it's infinite ammo. So it technically has ammo, even though it can't be fired. So yeah. So now I want to talk about angling and doing like angles and wall shots with camping guns. And I want to say this is basically the same as a net gun. I think their like arcs are the same. Like for example, if you do a third frame, just like that, it will come down around like 6 blocks later, just like the net gun. So you can kind of arc it over like walls and barricades and stuff like that, which is quite useful. But I'm pretty sure it's the actual like angles and stuff are like just around the same. So yeah, if you want to look more into that, you can check out the net gun video. But there's honestly not much to say except for the third frame angles, which will arc down much sooner, which is quite useful. But all around, like camping guns are much less common than net guns, so you're not going to run into that situation nearly as often. But it's still very useful to know. And also, camping guns can also ceiling shoot and floor shoot like everything that a net gun can. Because, again, their projectile isn't a bullet, so it doesn't disappear when it comes in contact with a wall. So it's able to just stay inside the wall. So, like, for example, it's all the same as the net gun. So if you want to check into this more in detail, I explain it well in the net gun video, part 1. And so you can see here that it's hard because actually the smoke obscures it, and it's not as clear. But basically what's happening is the net gun is when I'm angling with the camping gun, if I do like a first frame angle, so it's very steep, it's bouncing against this like orangey yellow line, and so that's why it's like not exiting the wall with as much velocity, and you can sort of see a little bit how it's like bouncing off this wall a little bit. But if I do anything like a first frame or anything greater than a first frame, then it doesn't really have a problem with it. So you can see because this is green, that means it's a block group, and so. Actually, if I just shoot straight up, it will come out the bottom. And if I do a first frame angle, it should come out the top just like that. Actually, I'm pretty sure second frame angles just like that. That would normally come out the top as like a fast one. But apparently it seems that only a first frame angle will come out the top. So I don't think there are really any maps where this is useful because net guns are much more common than camping guns. So I don't think you're really going to be doing this much, but it's just useful because it allows you to do wall shots with it, just like that. It's basically the same principle, and also you can do like easier floor shots and stuff, just like that. So yeah, if you want more detail, just watch the net gun video. So yeah. So I only found out about this recently, but camping gun projectiles will actually block bullets, just like a net gun. And I guess now that I think about it, it makes sense. But it's never occurred to me before. So yeah. As you can see here, they block pistol bullets. The ones that are lucky. This is not useful at all because I've only seen this happen once in all my hours of playing this game. And because they're so small and you can't actually spam it that fast, it's not a useful strategy on like net guns, where it is. And I'm assuming that they won't block, yeah, they don't block piercing bullets, so it's basically just like the same code, I'm pretty sure. They just put it on the net guns. This duck is having a, I don't know what's happening with this bug, but yeah. So it should be the exact same as the net guns. So yeah. So it appears if you camping gun a target duck, just from testing this, whenever I move, it moves, and now it just turns into me. And what? What the heck? So like maybe I'm able to push the other one, but like, why does this bug? Is this like an actual thing because there are no actual camping guns in any arcades because the arcade hasn't been updated or whatnot? And like what? I'm so confused. So the main camping gun glitch I want to cover, that's actually super useful, is if you camping gun someone, how it works is they will leave an imprint of themselves behind that you can like mess with and kill basically. So for example, right now, wherever you camping gun them, and I'll highlight them to show this. So if I camping gun them, you can see how they remain behind. And so this is like their actual body will be here. And so if I throw them off, for example, then they'll die. But if I kill this imprint of themselves, then he'll also die. And I can do interesting things. So for example, if I were to, I can do anything that's not shooting at him. So if I give myself a gun, shooting at him won't do anything. And so, but I can apparently throw items at him, and the items will get stopped. I can net them from that point, which can also save them if you're their teammate, for example. That can save them, or I can kill them with any non-bullet. So like if I were to crush them with shoes, for example, or if I were to stick them with a pokey head, or whatnot, you get the idea. You can do any like melee weapons, so like something like that. And I'm pretty sure you might even be able to convert them with a good book. I haven't actually tested this yet. So there's only one way to find out, right? Yeah, that works, see? And you can just convert them from where they lie. I just want to do a quick disclaimer. This only works online, and it only works with 2 people. Like, if I have player 1 and player 2, it wouldn't work. So I need to get someone that's on a different computer to do it. So there's actually one more interesting thing that I want to go over, or 1 or 2 more things with this. That actually can happen on a map, specifically Bunker 07. This is the giant fire map with the golden rock at the bottom. With the, like, it's a bunker map. And so, if the original duck catches on fire, like this, it will generate fire on their imprint. And so, this has actually killed me once because it lights you on fire if you're standing there where you camping on them. And I also wanted to test really quickly, does it work in reverse? I would assume it would work in reverse also. Yeah, see? He got caught on fire and he died, even though his camping gun self didn't catch on fire, like visually didn't catch on fire, he still got cooked. So like for example, if I show him really far away, like this, and then I light the original spot on fire, you can hear the sound effect of him getting caught on fire, and you can see the visually, but then the camping gun visually doesn't get caught on fire. So yeah, and this is just really useful in games. It's also useful especially if they're like, if they have a jetpack and they're running away, and like you have a pokey head, like you're on that one map, you can sort of like ragdoll through and kill if you know exactly where they got imprinted, or you know exactly where you camping gun them, then it's really quite easy to kill them. If you're fast enough, Like, even if they're about to fall off the map, you can net them back to safety. And I also talked about this in my net gun video, where once they get out, if they do ragdoll, they will get stuck in a camping gun again. So like if I just do this, and I net myself, or I camping gun myself, for example, and then I net myself, like this, I'll get stuck in the net gun, and then when I get out, if I ragdoll, I'll get put back in the camping gun because it saves my state, which is quite useful. So it makes them even harder for them to escape, because there's a lot of common ragdoll movement tech, like ragdoll jumps, for example, and then they won't be able to do that, or like if they just try to ragdoll over a void, like some people do that, then they'll get caught and die. The last interaction I wanted to mention is if someone's wearing armor, if you grab them while they're in the camping bag, it will just take them straight out of the camping bag. So this is a quite interesting mechanic. Unfortunately, I don't think you're actually able to grab their like imprinted body, but you'll just be able to grab themselves. So it's pretty cool. So there's this cool interaction with throwing items and while you get in camping bag. So this doesn't work with the net gun, but with the camping gun, if you get shot with a camping gun, and you see here I'm holding both direction keys, which will make me stationary, but if I just throw an item, it will throw it at full force, as you can see. And so if I'm just like moving forward, for example, like let's say I shoot this against a wall and I'm moving forward, it will throw the item at the same speed as it would normally throw it if I just like threw it. So like for example, if I'm not moving at all, and like I'm not moving at all, it will just give it a light toss forward, which would be the same thing as that would happen if I were to just throw it forward a little bit. And I think this is just the same thing as getting disarmed. It's the same principle because it puts you in the ragdolled state. And it just, I'm assuming it's just the same code as getting disarmed. Because if you're holding in that direction and you get disarmed, I'm pretty sure the same thing will happen. Unfortunately, it's not super cool, and it doesn't actually let you throw the energy scimitar. It will just give it like a forceful throw. It won't actually do it into like the thrown projectile that will kill people. So that's a little sad, but it's still something cool to know, because what you can do is, if you know you're about to get camping bagged, you can just, I mean, of course you can throw it beforehand, but it's like a preemptive measure. You can throw it like that. So I just want to show you a cool portal clip. It's not super useful in terms of the fact that it doesn't show up on a lot of maps, and it really only shows up on these pyramid maps on this specific generation, where there's a little 2-block area here, and there's a door. There has to be a door for this to work. And it's with the general principle that when you get shot with a camping gun, you fly back with a lot of velocity, and you're able to sometimes just accidentally clip into a lot of areas, like clip into the floor and like clip into the corner here. And so you can sort of make this more common by, if you crouch here and you just fire, you'll get stuck into the wall like this. And right now you just want to spam jump, because you don't want to play spam left or right, because that will take you out of the wall. And so now you're just in the wall, which is pretty cool. And so what you can do here is, if you don't want to move out of the wall at all. And yeah, this clip is quite consistent, I found. But yeah, if you just ragdoll, you can get yourself outside the map here. And one thing with pyramid maps is, if you're outside the map, you never want to be on the right side. Because if you ragdoll here, you'll just get shoved out of the map. But if you ragdoll here, then you'll get put inside the map. But you'll get put inside at the top corner. And so like how it works here is, if you move at all, you'll be sent downwards. And so this spot, before I explain all the intricacies, is quite useful, because you can sort of choose where you want to go. If you're trying to escape from someone, you can do this pretty fast, because they can't really kill you when they're in the wall. Unless of course you are like right here, they can angle you. But what happens is, if you keep moving and you slide all the way down, you'll get onto this line where you can't move up or down. And if you just ragdoll here, you can teleport here. Actually, both ways you'll teleport up there. But there's some maps where you'll just teleport into this bottom corner right here, and you can just walk. You'll teleport basically back right here, and you can just walk out and camping gun someone, which is quite useful. But other than that, there's also a annoyingly small chance that you won't get clipped. You'll just get clipped right here, and you won't get clipped into the portal. And if there's no portal here, there's also some generations like that, you can just ragdoll all the way up to right here, and just walk out of the wall and grab the shotgun and just shoot the duck. But you see here, so now if I jump up and I get to this line, or I just ragdoll anywhere there. So if you get to this line, that means you're up to the next one, and unfortunately, I can just show how it works. There are these giant blocks, so you can see here, this is a pyramid wall block, and so I'll always be teleported whenever I'm inside one. I'll always be teleported up to the top right of one. So that's why if you're on the other side, you'll always be teleported to the top right, so you'll be teleported outside of the map. But for example, if I go back inside the map, and I, for example, clip again, then you can see I'm in this pyramid wall. And so as long as I stay within this one and I ragdoll, I'll be sent right here. And you can sort of abuse this. Like, of course, it's just for playing around and messing around, and it's probably not the most useful, but it's just a very fun clip that I found, and I enjoy using it a lot. Right here, you're able to kind of clip any place where you're against the wall. You just ragdoll. For a lot of maps, of course, with pyramid walls, it's so much easier to put stuff in the wall, and you can just do something like this, where you just put it straight into the wall. But for a lot of maps, even just like ragdolling next to it, even if it's a different block type, it'll get stuck in, and there's always a small chance for you to just go in the wall anyways. I was just testing earlier with doing something else, and I camping gunned. I shot the gray duck, and he just went into the floor. So it's not super rare, but it is definitely uncommon. Because camping bags have the same physics as ragdolls, you're able to clip camping bag ducks into blocks, like the same way you can clip ragdolls into blocks. And you can actually see how lucky this is, because I got camping gunned into the wall, which was a block group, and then shot out of the wall and got camping and went straight into a block. And so that's actually insanely lucky, because when I first watched back this clip, I thought I just got bounced upwards, but I didn't realize I actually clipped upwards and then clipped into the block. So here I'm the duck in the red, and I just want to show a weird ping bug, or I don't even know why it happens. I don't know if anyone really knows why it happens. And if you do, please let me know in the comments. But you see here, when I exit the camping bag, I exit it ragdolled, which you should never do. You should always exit it unragdolled. And so you see here I exit it ragdolled. And I'm not sure why this is. And right here you'll see a separate ping bug where when the green duck grabs me, he puts me back in the camping bag. And this is because on his screen, I was always in the camping bag. So you see he puts me back in the camping bag. So on his screen, I was always in the camping bag. And so it just, when he grabs me, it updates my duck on my screen. So to what he sees. So yeah, it's just a weird bug. I'm not sure. I've seen this several times before. But if anyone knows why, please let me know. It might just be some bug with the netcode or some just weird ping glitchiness and stuff. So here's another weird ping bug that can happen with the camping gun. So you see here, when I camping gun this duck, if I camping gun them, the frame that on their screen they grab the sniper. So if there's a bit of ping, you see he grabbed the sniper, and so on his screen, he has the sniper, and on my screen I camping gunned him before that. So it will create this weird thing where, in this recorder you'll see the actual white duck imprint that I talked about before, but in the actual game you won't, and you'll just see the sniper floating in midair. So this will basically just show how the gun will float in midair. I'm not able to pick this up because the game still thinks he's grabbing it. And there's this also weird thing where when he exits the camping bag, first of all, he gets the gun back instantly. And also, if you can see, when he grabs it, it's pointed upwards by one frame, or it was at least. You see how it's pointed upwards, the laser is pointed upwards by a degree, which is really weird, and I'm not sure why that is. It might just be because he fired it. It might just be because the white duck fired it on the frame that he grabbed it, or whatnot. And the more ping there is, the more leniency and this is easier to get, of course. But the main thing is just that the white duck has grabbed it on his screen, and he hasn't grabbed it on my screen yet. And it might just be because you saw it fired right beforehand. So that could be why. But yeah, it's just an annoying ping bug because it feels kind of really bad when you camping gun them and they still get to keep the gun because you're not able to pick this up, and then they just instantly get it when they get unragdolled. So it's kind of BS. So this is just a cool like Easter egg thing that I'm sure a lot of people know. So normally if you kill a duck, you can close their eyes by if you just stand over their eyes and you just press shoot. Some people crouch and press shoot, but you don't need to press crouch. And so this will close their eyes. Nice sign of respect, whatnot. So yeah, but if you do it in a camping gun and you kill someone in a camping gun, just like that, you can close their eyes in a camping gun, and it's a cool little special thing where it just closes the bag. Just a neat little Easter egg. Okay, so that's gonna be all the tech I'm gonna talk about in this video. If you have any questions or suggestions for something you'd like to see, please leave a comment, and feel free to share this video with anyone who you think might be interested. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. My next video will probably be on energy scimitars, and then I'll probably do pipe tech. And then after that, I'll probably just do more weapon tech or whatever I can think of that's interesting to record about. Keep on duck gaming. Peace.